I wish I could laugh, but this is a fake smile. I, I mean, I look all happy and stuff, but it's like a double-edged sword. I need to tell you something. Today I'm making this video because I have something what I believe is important to share with you. A lot of people, they know me as a dancer and as a musical producer, but for the past 5 years I've been doing lots of research and I'm writing a book. I'm still writing the book. Well, I was writing the book until 2 days ago. For some reason I couldn't write no more. It just stopped. I don't know how to explain this, but this was really weird. I couldn't focus on writing the book I'm already writing for over 5 years. Because it's like, you need to understand, it's like, you want to get the book released, you know? So I was really motivated to write that book, but it just didn't come out. My attention just went somewhere else. So, on the book, there's a subject about mind relaxation, how to relax your mind, to be able to think clearer for the purpose of the book, which I'm not talking about right now. But anyway, I noticed an audio file on the internet called solfeggio, and it was a tone on it, and I put the thing in my ear, and I'm listening to it, and it sounds okay. Actually, it sounded really okay. I couldn't think one bad thing. So I was like, okay, let me just figure out what the whole thing is, you know, so I can maybe make a radio show and I put the music in the background and then everybody's happy. At least that was the idea. So I thought solfeggio, you know, wow, that sounds nice, but that's just how people write down notes. It's the solfeggio system. It was the frequency that made me feel like that. At least that's what people wrote. So that caught my attention. So I tried to imitate that frequency, but I was like, and then I wasn't like, I saw a video of a guy, I will put it in this box, which video it is, and you can see it yourself. And he talked about that in the music industry, they put the 440 hertz back to 432 hertz. And I was like, hey, well, why would anyone do such a thing? And why would they do that? And so I thought, okay, let me just, for fun, you know, I'm a researcher, I do things like that to see what happens, to provide a better product for you at home. And this one is going to be an interesting product. But this frequency shift of 8 hertz, I could do that in my normal software, and it would sound pretty okay. So I was like, hey, this sounds okay. Why are all these multi-million producers not doing this? And how can I make these notes myself in music production software? Because the music production software works in solfeggio, which is the known note system. I hope you're still hanging on, because this is some serious information. Then I thought, let me just convert all the notes into 8 hertz down, so that I would get these new, how do they call it, chakra, these chakra notes. And I was like, okay, done it. And then I tried to play them together and it didn't work. It sounded horrible. So I thought, this doesn't work. Okay, so I need to find a different solution. And then I got on this website and it gave these chakra frequencies. I was like, for some reason they're not working. I can't create the chakra notes with the solfeggio system. So there was something about the solfeggio system that didn't match with the chakra system. And then I saw another video about a guy who said there were monks and they ring a bell and like ring, and it's like a fork, a tuning fork, and it has a vibration. And the guy said that the monks, they go into meditation. They go and they focus. Remember, they focus on something. You will need to remember it later. They focus, okay, 6 minutes. They focus on something, on their inner self. I don't understand. I'm not that spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like you, probably. So they focus and they hear a sound, and they call it the sound of God. You know, they give it a little big name. That's why they don't have sex. They sit and meditate all day long. Why would they do that if there would be nothing really interesting to hear? Why would they go inside if there's nothing interesting inside? So there must be a reason. And I was like, okay, so they hear the God sound, or whatever you want to call it. I call it chakra sounds, you know. And they manipulate metal to create this vibration, and they go like ping, and then it makes this sound. So they don't use the solfeggio system to create this sound. So I thought, if you make a piece of metal by hand and you ring it, you can't make a perfect, it doesn't work, it's not perfect. You're always going to have 1 or 2 hertz, or maybe more, off, because the human mind, the hand, the craft, it's never perfect. It's not a symmetry, it's man-made, makes mistakes. But the computer is perfect. The computer calculates things, it's mathematic. So I figured out, oh no, I didn't figure it cost me 36 hours. That's why I'm not cheap. 36 hours on one piece. I worked on the system. I developed a mathematical system. I'll explain this. There's a system which converts, now it's getting complicated. There's a system that converts these solfeggio tones into these chakra tones. And it doesn't work completely. I only got to work 21 notes, frequency, 21 notes. That's 1 ground note and 1 octave higher, 1 octave lower. Ugh. Are you still following me? You know how complicated it is for me to explain this to you? I don't even understand it myself. I'll keep on going. Stay with me. You're gonna love this. Or hate it, or you're gonna be scared, or I don't know what the fuck is going on. But this is really something you need to pay attention to and try to grasp it into your head. I wouldn't make this video if I wouldn't know for sure that something is going on. I'm not gonna put my face, I'm gonna write a book about the music industry. I'm not going to talk about mathematics. It's for nerds. I'm not a nerd, you know. Does this look like a computer geek? No. You know, I wouldn't talk about this if this wouldn't be necessary if I believe that. So this conversion thing, one side solfeggio, the other side the chakra, and there are 21 notes that are connectable with mathematics. 1 ground, like an A4, and then you go to A3 and A5. It doesn't work further, because then it's not mathematically. And what I mean with this, I found a way to calculate it. And it has a loop. That's the only way I can describe it to you, because I don't want to give you the exact codes, because then everybody can make it. And I don't know if that's a really smart idea, because I know about this for now maybe 40 hours. This loop, there's a loop in the mathematical code. There's a calculation, it gives me a number, and the number loops. So then I was like, okay, fine, that could happen, right? It's just a loop, mathematics, things happen. But then I saw the date 2012. You know, the whole big thing about 2012 was like, hey, it caught my attention. It's like, hey, 2012, and it loops, 2012, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. It's like, hey, that is interesting. Let me try to do that on this note too, and on that note too, and yes, they are looped. Like, I can't say more, because then you will figure out what it is. They are looped. And, no, not all. Only 21 of them looped. And 7 of them, they looped again. They looped after they looped. So the calculation, the loop, and the calculation of the loop made another loop. And I was like, shit. Hey, that is crazy shit. This is, how can a melody, how can a sound have mathematical loops? Loops in loops. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting subject to write a book about. You know, that was the idea. Let me just take a day off of the music industry work and do like a 2nd book or a 3rd book about the magical mysteries of sound. That was the idea. And let me just write about it in silence and just take a couple of days and whatever. That was the idea. But then I found the frequencies. So I had 21 perfectly chakra sounds. Completely how the prescriptions described it how it should sound. And they matched mathematically. So it wasn't solfeggio, they matched.